A musician's job is to sell beer. Okay? And when you say that to some musicians, they just freak out. But dude, if that cash register's not ringing at the end of the night, there's no reason for you to be there, and the bar owner is going to get somebody else. So if you can go in there, and I don't care if you've got a monkey and a popcorn maker on stage with you, and you have that till just cranked all night going king, king, king,
You win.
you win. Second thing is, you're an entertainer. Now, I just saw a band, King's Limit, on the weekend, and I can tell you, Vulture's playing Ruckus, Nostalgic Bright Lights, Matt, lots of indie bands. Their stage presence, some kids have come out, Jesse Grant and his sister Lucy, and they have this girl named Queen, I probably won't pronounce her right, but they go under the name Palm Rom, that's the name of their band.
Okay.
These kids, and I shouldn't use the word kids, anything, I'm 61 almost, so they ain't kids to me. But them and these bands I've mentioned, when you put them on a stage, they are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Nothing worse I hate to see than some guy, and there's lots of guys my age, they stand in one spot and they're like, when is this over? I want to go home and watch Netflix.
Right.
Now, there's lots of guys my age that really put on a show because they understand.
Right.
But you're supposed to sell beer and be an entertainer. So that means being energetic on stage.
Yeah.
Put on a good show, have your act together, don't be stoned and drunk and blah, blah, blah. You say that some musicians, they get all bent out, my job is to play music. Well, yeah, in part it is.
Right.
But that's not the whole package.
No, that's a very, very small
know,
part of the job.
One thing I heard years ago was, if you go see the Eagles live in concert, they're fantastic to hear. But man, they'll put you to sleep after the third song because they're boring as hell to watch.
Right.
So, I don't want to go see some guy just standing there playing it.
Yeah.
If I see a young guy or an old guy and he's just right into it and having the time of his life, because the audience feeds off that. If the audience sees that you're getting into what you're doing, they buy into it.
I will, because we're getting to the end here, but I will use your point to give a shout out to my favorite thing that I've ever seen in my life was specifically here in London. And I apologize because I do not remember the gentleman's name, but I'm sure you will be able to name him. I came to see Ray Stern, the universe featuring Ray, play a show here at, I can't remember the name of the club, but it's upstairs on top of the theater downtown. There's a big music hall downtown, and upstairs is a club.
Rum Runners.
Rum Runners. How
Yes.
can I forget that? Anyway, so we saw Ray at Rum Runners playing with a great act called This One Guy. And I was sitting in the back, kind of, watching all the stuff that's happened on stage. And there's this one guy that comes in, and I don't want to guess his age, but he's an older gentleman, gray hair, dressed to the fucking nines, in a suit and a string tie, a cowboy hat, and it's punk rock happening in the background, and he's going the whole time that he's in there, man. The whole time. I think his name's Bucky. Do you know who I'm talking about? Because apparently this guy's like a legend around here. He shows up to shows all over the place. But that guy from the floor, and I mean, we were in a room with entertainers. That guy was the most entertaining thing I've ever seen in my life because he just fucking loved it.
I gotta tell you something. There's two guys in this city stick out to me. One gentleman, he's about 70. His name's Bev Camp.
That's who I'm talking about. It's Bev. That's who I'm talking about.
Bev.
Yes,
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, he's such a sweetheart of a man. And he's on everything.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one thing. And when people get in talking about going to shows and blah, 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 we in the community have a mutual friend. His name is John Travers.
Okay.
He's confined to a wheelchair. Okay? So to come out to a show, he has to phone paratransit, line up a booking, get to the show, come in a show, and he's confined to a wheelchair all the time. Stays for a show, has to get picked up again and taken home.
So in other words, it's fucking work.
Exactly. John is the biggest supporter of live music in the city. And, you know, I often think to myself, and I've been guilty too, you know what? There's been nights I should have probably gone out and I see about 100, 120 shows a year here in the city. There's some nights I have friends playing, I say, I should go see them because I really want to see them. But it's pissing down rain or snow, and I just, you know, John attends so many shows. He's such a huge supporter. And when I'm in one of those, I don't want to get off my ass moods, I think of him because I just have to get up, walk, because I have legs that work, and go up to my truck, hop in and go to a show. This guy has to go through a ritual, and he goes to almost as many shows as I do. And he's become London's greatest cheerleader for live music and attending events. And man, it would really suck with him not being around.
That's amazing, man.
So, like, what's that say right there?
Don't forget, you can subscribe to our full audio episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you find your audio podcasts. The full episodes, highlights, and our live off-the-floor performance videos can be found at our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the AVB Podcast. Of course, you'll find links to our incredible sponsors and this week's guest in the description below. The AVB Podcast is part of the Border City Network. Find more great content at bordercitynetwork.com. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.